Anyway, so Shinran Shonin, he reflected upon himself, and then he got the conclusion that this is not the, I cannot completely practice or complete the path to attain enlightenment in this world. So that's why he thought he took the path of Pure and Way, Jodo Kyo. Then let's go to the page 9. Then what is the best remedy or treatment for such a person who is possessed of unfathomable deludedness or bonno, and then living in a world tough for Buddhist practice? See? He has a kind of spirit or enthusiasm to attain enlightenment, to be released from suffering. So what is the choice he should take? Then he encountered the teaching by the, Basbandhu, Nagarjuna. Yeah. So in the Buddhist teachings, I quoted the passage. Yeah. In the Buddhist teachings, there are countless gates. Yeah. These gates mean the path or road to attain enlightenment. And then just there are difficult and easy among the paths in this world. For journeying overland is full of hardship, while sailing on board a boat is a present. Yeah. So Bodhisattva Nagarjuna, Indian eminent monk, he showed us two kinds of choice. Yeah. Then journeying overland, this is like working a long distance on foot. And then there is also, just on board a boat. I put the Bodhisattva's 52 stages on page 33, on the top of page 33. In the Mahayana Buddhism, people practice hard and then go up the stages. Yeah. The first 10 stages is a Jushin. There are 10 stages in this Jushin. Page 33. And then after climbing up these 10 stages, and then the next one is a Juju, 10 dwellings. There are 10 stages in this category. And then next is the 10 Jugyo, 10 stages there. And then 10 Echo, another 10 stages there. And then the next is a Juji. And then this first stage, which is the 41st stage, is called Shoji, which is called Futaiten, non-retrogression. So once practicer reach this 41st stage, they don't retrogress, go back to the previous stages. So this is a kind of important, turning point. So once, practicer get 41st stage, they are certain to attain enlightenment, or the 52nd stage. 52nd stage, wondrous awakening, is the kind of enlightenment, equal to enlightenment. It's a goal of Buddhism. To get this goal, enlightenment, Bodhisattva or practicer, they have to go up these 52 stages. And then once a person reaches the 41st stage, no retrogression. It depends on how much time they will spend to get the final destination, 52nd stage. So this is a kind of journeying over, step by step, stage by stage. Practicer have to heading toward the destination. But Bodhisattva Nagarjuna showed, they are just, board on a boat, take a boat, and then going to the river. So path for those who are incapable of accomplishing tough and lengthy practice, such as a Bodhisattva's 52 stages. This is a sailing on board a boat. I put Shinran Shonin's Shoshinge passage here. Nagarjuna clarified the hardships on the overland path of difficult practice and leads us to entrust to pleasure on the waterway of easy practice. So the purpose of Buddhism, destination Buddhism, is to get to the enlightenment. See, like to get the top of this mountain is the purpose of aim of Buddhism. So the process is a kind of secondary thing, right? The first thing is to get to the destination. So it's up to us which path or which process we will take. So Nagarjuna showed us there are difficult paths and then easy paths. This is a kind of teaching shown, revealed by Nagarjuna. There are difficult paths or easy paths. And then Shinran Shonin thought, if he is capable enough or he has enough ability, he could practice a difficult path. But reflecting upon himself, he's full of, blind passions, bono. So that's why he thought it's impossible for him to completely practice a difficult path. So that's why he thought he cannot but select an easy path. So let's go to page 10. So is the easy path a corrupted Buddhist path? If there are two difficult and easy paths, if people choose an easy path, of course, especially those who practicing a difficult path would complain. That's not good, that's not fair. See? We are doing this hard practice, difficult practice, but why you are doing this easy path? So maybe this is a kind of criticism or complaint from those who are practicing a difficult practice, difficult path. The answer is no, it isn't. Because any Buddhist path is taught in accordance with listener's capability or ability. Buddhist path should not be measured by like a high, low, or excellent or poor values. It's kind of our values. For example, this difficult practice is more value, while easy path is less value. As long as one's path leads to enlightenment or destination, they are equal in terms of the function. See? I say repeatedly, see, the purpose of Buddhism is to get to the destination, enlightenment. This is the purpose. So the process is up to us, and then up to our ability. See? So that's why Shakyamuni Buddha taught us many ways. See? On page 5, I said, preach in accordance with listener's capability, taiki seppo. So if you have enough ability to completely accomplish the difficult path, of course you should take the difficult path. But if you are not able to completely practice the hard, difficult path, okay, I'll show you another path. This is the attitude of Shakyamuni Buddha. So that's why in Buddhism there are many paths, there are many denominations or schools. See? So we shouldn't measure or evaluate Buddhist practice, based upon our values. See, difficult path is excellent, easy path is poor. So this is totally our, based on our values. Buddhist path should not be based on that kind of values. See? Every path is equal in terms of the function, as long as they lead the people to the enlightenment. So I put the definition of practice in Buddhism on page 10. One of the popular, there are many definitions of practice, Buddhist practice, but I put a popular and general one. One of the popular definitions of Buddhist practice is Zosa Shinshu, which means heading towards destination with a bodily or verbally or mind act. See? This is a definition of practice. So practice is, just a process or just making progress toward the destination. Right? This is just making progress. Right? So I put my interpretation of my comment there with my handsome picture. So Shakyamuni Buddha, he didn't teach his words for the purpose of encouraging people merely to encourage them to in hard practices. But he, from his wholehearted compassion, hoped that as many people as possible would be completely released from suffering, that is, become a Buddha. So that's why he expressed his teaching in various ways, so that anyone can head for nirvana by finding a path that fits them. Those who are capable of hard practice should accomplish it, while those who are not capable of hard practice should find a path which is appropriate to them and make best effort to follow it. So we Buddhists should keep in our mind that practice is not the purpose of Buddhism, but to get to the destination by following the appropriate path to us is what Shakyamuni Buddha expects each of us to do. So that's why it's very important to know myself. See, to know myself, to examine or evaluate myself, and then, what path I can complete, I can walk, I can follow. Then make a choice which Buddhist path I should follow. There are many, paths like Jodo Shinshu, Jodo Shu, Zen Shu, Tendai Shu, and Shingon Shu, Nichiren Shu, also Tibetan Buddhism. See, we have many choices in front of us. Okay? So before we make a choice, we know, we examine ourselves and then make a choice. This is a kind of proper process of Buddhism. Right? Okay, now let's go to the page 11. Yeah. Then, what is the water of easy practice? Nagarjuna, he showed us there are easy practice and then difficult practice. Shinran Shonin, he selected the easy practice based on his examination of himself. Then what is the easy path of water way of easy practice? In the chapter on easy practice, this is a book written by Nagarjuna. Nagarjuna mentioned saying the name of Amida Buddha, Namo Amida Buddha. This is the water way of easy practice. So this full passage is from his writing. If a person desires quickly to attain the stage of non-retrogression. So I'm sorry, I put a kind of technical term. This stage of non-retrogression is as I said, the stage of 41st on page 33. On page 33, I said 52 stages of bodhisattvas. And then the stage of non-retrogression is the 41st stage, which, they will never retrogress to previous stages. In other words, this person is certain, surely to attain enlightenment somewhere in the future. This is the stage of non-retrogression. So this is my stage at which one is sure to attain enlightenment. Then this person, he or she should, with a reverent heart, say the name of Amida Buddha, say Namo Amida Buddha, holding self first to it. So this is a teaching by Nagarjuna. And then I put another passage from Tanglan's book. Tanglan is on page 24. Tanglan is the third master in the 7 masters in the Jodo Shinshu tradition. He is a Chinese monk, eminent monk. And the Shinran Shonin's lan comes from this Tanglan. See? So Shinran Shonin's teaching is totally influenced by this Tanglan. It basically philosophical aspects. But anyway, I put the Tonglan's passage on page 11. Okay. So Tonglan, he interpreted Nagarjuna's chapter on easy practice, and he pointed out the easy practice is based on Amida Buddha's power. Okay. But in the path of easy practice, one aspires to be born in the Pure Land, with thoroughly one's entrusting oneself to the Buddha as the cause, and allowing oneself to be carried by the power of Buddha's vow. Or the next line, supported by the Buddha's power. And then the last line, it's comfort to being carried over waterways in the sea. See? So easy practice is supported by Amida Buddha's power, Amida Buddha's working. And then Shinran Shonin, he compares difficult practice and the easy practice thus. This is a passage written by Shinran Shonin. Difficult practice is practices performed through self-power taught in the path of sages. Easy path, this is a practice performed through other power taught in the Pure Land teaching. So now I think there are two things, two essentials of the easy practice. One is saying Namo Amida Butsu. This is one essence. And then the other essence of easy practice is other power. Now I'd like to talk about these two things, saying Namo Amida Butsu and other power of easy practice. On page 12, saying Namo Amida Butsu. This practice, anybody can recite Namo Amida Butsu anytime and anywhere. That's why easy practice. Right? Easy practice. I put a passage from Shandao. Whether walking, standing, sitting, or reclining, without regard to the length of time and without abandoning it from moment to moment. We can say Namo Amida Butsu walking. We can say Namo Amida Butsu standing. We can say Namo Amida Butsu sitting. Or even when we recline, we can say Namo Amida Butsu. And then Shinran Shonin also said, for all, これ誰かに読んでもらいましょうね。次は、メイティさん行きましょう。メイティさん読んだから次はベッツィさん。マイク持ってきてもらってね。マイクでね。Yeah, that's one. Yeah, that's right.
Shinran Shonin sings it in his hymn. For all people, men and women of high station and low, saying the name of Amida is such that whether one is walking, standing, sitting, or reclining is of no concern, and time, place, and condition are not restricted.
Thank you. ありがとうございます、ベッツィさん。ね。So this is the reason why Nembutsu is easy practice. I put a chart at the middle of page 12. This is a kind of Buddhist practice. I think there are many Buddhist practices. Some are difficult and some are easy. Then what is difficult and what does the easy mean? Right? So difficult Buddhist practice means it has more conditions. See, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this at this place, you should do this long, or you should do this and that and that. See, so difficult practice means more condition they should cover or they should do. And the easy practice means, I think, less conditions. See, and then which means, see, so more conditions, then less people can practice it, accomplish it. That's why difficult practice, right? And on the other hand, see, easy practice has less conditions. So less conditions, the more people, the less conditions, the more people can accomplish. That's why it is called easy practice. Right? So in Buddhism, there are many practices, but the easy and the difficult means the conditions, and then how many people can practice it. This is the reason why difficult and easy. Right? then I think it is clear that which type of practice the recitation of Nembutsu is. Yeah? So as Shandao said, yeah, even walking, standing, sitting, reclining, and then the length of time doesn't matter. So Nembutsu should be easy practice, which means more people can practice or accomplish it. Right? And then it is also clear that which type of practice accords with Buddha's mind. Right? As I said, so on page 10, see, Buddhist practice is a process, not the purpose of Buddhism. Right? So if Buddha's mind, Buddha wishes or hopes that more people attain enlightenment, so Buddha, of course, wish that people can, practice, more people can practice Buddhist practice. So that's why, see, we can think about which practice Buddha would recommend. If Buddha recommends difficult practice, which means less people, only few people can accomplish it, which I think it does not accord with Buddha's mind or Buddha's aspiration. See? If Buddha aspires to, more people to attain enlightenment or get to the goal, of course Buddha recommends, the practice which more people can accomplish it. So that's why, rather than difficult practice, I think Buddha would recommend easy practice so that more people can practice it. See? Then let's go to the page 13. Okay? So rather than performing hard and lengthy Buddhist practices, why it is enough just saying Namo Amida Butsu, or the name of Amida Buddha. Of course, I think in the long history of Nembutsu teaching, some people complain or criticize the practice of Nembutsu. Oh, it's just saying Namo Amida Butsu. No, that's not enough. See, those people should complain or criticize the teaching of Nembutsu. Then I go to the answer. Although it is an easy practice, it is a great practice. It is said in the Contemplation Sutra of the Buddha of Immeasurable Life, in Japanese Kangyo, Kanmu Ryoju Kyo. This is a passage from the Contemplation Sutra, because he recites the name of the Amida Buddha. With each recitation, his evil karma binding him to birth and death for 80 notice of kalpas is eliminated. So just saying the Namo Amida Butsu, it has a great power to release this person tied to a birth and death. See? And then Shandao also said, I read underline, if one utters a single voicing of Amida Buddha, Namo Amida Butsu, one immediately eradicates the grave karmic evil. And also Shinran Shonin said, Koni-san, could you read the Shinran Shonin says two things?
Shinran Shonin says, the auspicious name embodying the perfectly fulfilled supreme virtues is true wisdom that transforms our evil into virtue.
Yes. And then the next.
This practice, saying Namo Amida Butsu, Nembutsu, embodying all good acts and possessing all roots of virtue, is perfect and most rapid in bringing them to fullness. It is a treasure ocean of virtues that is suchness or true reality. For this reason, it is called great practice.
Yes, thank you. ありがとうございます。See, so saying Namo Amida Butsu, this is a great practice. See, and then this Namo Amida Butsu, the word Namo Amida Butsu, is great. So that's why I put the Shinran Shonin's picture here. See, not our act of saying Namo Amida Butsu possesses the great virtues. This is not the understanding of Shinran Shonin. Right? The recited words Namo Amida Butsu possesses the great virtues. Right? So that's why Shinran Shonin said, it doesn't depend on the number of times the Nembutsu is said. See? if our act of saying possesses a great virtues, we should, recite the names as much as possible. So the number matters. See? So if we say the nembutsu 10 times, and then some people say nembutsu 100 times, oh, that person is greater than 9. Because the number, he recites more than 9. See? And then the number matters. But the Shinran Shonin, according to Shinran Shonin's understanding, see, the word Namo Amida Butsu itself has the great virtues. So the number doesn't matter. See? So saying the Namo Amida Butsu just one time, saying the Namo Amida Butsu 10 times, saying the Namo Amida Butsu 100,000 times, all are equal in terms of the virtues. Yes?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sure.
If saying Namu Amida Butsu means that I'm letting go of my ego for that time, or I'm recognizing other power and experiencing other power when I say it, then wouldn't it matter the more times I say it, that's the more times I'm letting go of my ego and experiencing other power?
I see. Okay, let me introduce an example. For example, thank you, the word thank you. So when we say thank you from the bottom of our heart, I think that's a kind of spontaneous reaction from our heart, right? When we receive something, some kindness or some true heart from the other people, from our mouth, the word arigato, thank you, spontaneously comes. This is a kind of, our control, I think. Kind of an instinct or spontaneously reaction for the receiving kindness from other people. And then in that case, saying thank you, the number doesn't matter, right? So even one time of arigato, or some people will say, arigato, 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 arigato many times. But this, saying thank you is, I think, same. The number doesn't matter. So nembutsu is something like a reaction to receiving something. So when saying Namo Amida Butsu, try to control myself or try to calm down myself, is a kind of different understanding of Shinran Shonin Nembutsu. Also, I think it's also a way to, as a life of Nembutsu person, see, when my heart, I get angry or my heart getting upset, or sometimes try to sing Nembutsu and then try to calm down myself. I think it's okay to do so. But the essence of Namo Amida Butsu Shinran Shonin try to reveal is a kind of, Nembutsu as a reaction, spontaneous reaction to the power or working of Amida Buddha. So, yeah, of course, I don't deny saying the Nembutsu. So when you get angry or upset or something, try to calm down yourself, saying the Nembutsu, and then try to control yourself. That's okay too. But the Shinran Shonin, the Nembutsu, is more like a spontaneous thing. Do I answer your question? Is that okay?
Yes, that was helpful.
Yeah. Yes.
But that spontaneous nembutsu doesn't. The spontaneous nembutsu is difficult. I mean, it doesn't come. It doesn't come. What do you call it? It's very rare.
Rare, yeah, that's right.
I don't
So that's why I say I don't deny the saying the Nembutsu, try to control myself. See? So that's a kind of a part of Nembutsu working, or the kind of working that I receiving the teaching of Nembutsu or Amida Buddha's compassion. If I don't do that, I just let my anger go, right? Keep going. But since we have some sense of trying to control myself, this topic is I talk later, but since we have some kind of sense or mind to control to myself, calm down myself. That's why I try to say Nembutsu, right? Anyway, so yeah, I know. So that's why Shinran Shonin said Nembutsu teaching is very difficult, right? It's not easy. So in the Shoshingen Nanchu Shina Mukashi, it's very difficult to practice Nembutsu because it's very rare we truly spontaneously say the Nembutsu. But that's the path, that's the thing Shinran Shonin expect us to do. Yeah, of course it's very difficult. That's why we have to listen to the teaching of Nembutsu or Amida Buddha's compassion many, many times. And then the reason why that kind of Nembutsu is difficult is our ego or our bono is very strong. That's why it's very rare to, for such Nembutsu to come out or appear in our voice. Anyway, so yeah, I agree with you. It's very rare and difficult to, for such a Nembutsu come out from our mouth. But in the Jodo Shinshu tradition, we usually say Shinjin Shoin, Shomyo Hoon. Shomyo Hoon means, Shomyo is a saying Namamida Butsu. The Hoon means responding a Nembutsu, saying a Nembutsu in response to Amida Buddha's great compassion. See? Since we sense the great compassion of Amida Buddha, that's why our Nembutsu comes, spontaneously comes as a response to sensing or touching this Amida Buddha's heart. So that's why in the Jodo Shinshu tradition we say Shinjin Shoin, Shomyo Ho, saying Namamida Butsu in response to Amida Buddha's working or great compassion. Yeah, I know. In the Shoshinge, Bonno Shogen Suifuken, which means blind passions covers my eyes. See, Amida Buddha's Dharma's working is always coming to me, each of us. But also, working comes to me, our eyes are, covered by my own greed, anger, or ignorance. That's why we cannot see the coming light. So that's why we need to remove this, bonno, and then see the light coming from Dharma. But this bonno is very strong, so it's not easy to remove this bonno. So but when we can see from this, gap of this bonno, we can truly say the Nembutsu from the bottom of our heart. I think this is the joy of Dharma, or saying the Nembutsu in response to Amida Buddha's working. I'll talk to you later. Later, give me a question. Okay, so let's go to page 14. Then why does the word Namo Amida Butsu or Nembutsu possess the great virtue? Because it is prepared by Amida Buddha. Amida Butsuが準備してくださった。Then here I'd like to talk about the benefiting others. Rita in Japanese, benefiting others. Okay, in the Sanskrit word, Mahayana, Jodo Shinshu is a part of Mahayana Buddhism. So what is Mahayana Buddhism? Mahayana is a Sanskrit Indian word, and which means great vehicle, big vehicle. So it's not a small vehicle that carries only one or two persons. But it's a big vehicle heading toward the destination or enlightenment with many other people. So in the Mahayana Buddhism, it is very important to benefit others. Okay, let's go together. See? So heading for destination with other people is a very important thing in the Mahayana. And then that's why benefiting others is very important. Essence of Mahayana Buddhism. So based on this understanding, let's go to the Amida Buddha. So Amida Buddha is described as a Buddha of great compassion, which means Amida Buddha is a Buddha who has a sincere aspiration to release all beings from their sufferings, agony, anxiety, and so forth. This is because Amida Buddha is a great compassion, or try to benefit others. So Amida Buddha, he is also who cannot but do all he can do for the sake of such beings. So Amida Buddha is a Buddha who has prepared supreme virtues in the form of Namo Amida Butsu for the sake of all beings. See? So delivering virtues to be released from suffering. This is a kind of Amida Buddha's compassion. So that's why Amida Buddha prepared everything. So it's like a mother and a baby. So we know like a pizza and the hamburger and the potato chips. Those kind of things are lots of calories and nutrition. But even though it's not good to give those food to baby, right? So to get for baby to get the nutrition, how do they do? So mother eat nutritious food, and then change this nutrition into milk, and then give this milk to baby, right? This is because this baby is not capable of eating or consuming those food or nutrition. So that's why baby needs mother who feed, give a nutrition in the form of baby can receive, right? So this is a kind of relationship Amida Buddha and Bonbu, sentient beings. If we can practice Buddhist, if we can completely accomplish the Buddhist practice by ourselves, Amida Buddha, he doesn't do anything, right? Because we can do that. But since we cannot completely accomplish the Buddhist practices, that's why, like a mother, have to do everything for the sake of baby, for the sake of us. This is a kind of notion of Amida Buddha's benefiting others. So I think, go back to page 14. Amida Buddha's aspiration, a sincere aspiration or enthusiasm or spirit, is Amida Buddha's primal vow or hongan. So we, in the Jodo Shinshu tradition, we use hongan, hongan, hongan. Hongan is Amida Buddha's aspiration, that he wants to do something for the people, for the sentient beings. This spirit, enthusiasm, or aspiration is a hongan. It's like a mother's heart, sincere heart to her baby. And then other power, Amida Buddha's working for the sake of beings, concrete working, is called other power. In Japanese, tariki. So Shinran Shonin says, 次行ってみましょうか。次、節さん。Could you read the Shinran Shonin's passage at the bottom of 14?
Shinran Shonin says, there is no set number of times one should say the name. This vow, primal vow, shows the way that is easy to traverse and easy to practice. It reveals the boundlessness of great love and great compassion.
Yeah. So Shinran Shonin understood Amida Buddha's aspiration, enthusiasm, or spirit to us. So that's why he said, he talks about the Nembutsu in that way. So this is his understanding of Nembutsu. Then on page 15, I talked about that this is the second important thing of easy practice. On page 11, I said easy practice has two essentials. One is saying Namo Amida Butsu, and then the other is other power. Now I'm going to talk about this other power of easy practice. So other power is a concrete working of Amida Buddha's compassionate aspiration. Amida Buddha has a spirit or enthusiasm to release us from suffering. So other power is a kind of concretion, revelation of such spirit or enthusiasm. So Tanran says, through the power of Buddha's vow, one says the Nembutsu 10 times and accordingly attain birth in the Pure Land. Because one attains birth, one escapes from transmigration in the three realms. Because one is released from transmigration, it is said one swiftly realizes enlightenment. And then Shinran Shonin, this is also Shinran Shonin's passage about him to praise Tanlang. So putting aside his lectures on the four treasures, he taught other power, working over a primal vow, guiding foolish beings bound by blind passions. He led them to enter the gate of nirvana. So in the Jodo Shinshu tradition, Tanlang is on page 25. On page 25, I put the brief explanations or the teaching of seven masters. In the Jodo Shinshu tradition, Tanlang, he reveals the teaching of other power, significance of other power. So that's why Shinran Shonin praises Tanlang as the person who revealed the significance of other power. So this is the hymn, Shinran Shonin praising Donlan Tanlang for his revealing the other power, significance of other power. Then Shinran Shonin describes other power thus. Other power means to be free from any form of calculation. This is Shinran Shonin's description of other power. Other power means to be really free from any form of calculation. So to thoroughly entrust myself to Amida Buddha's compassionate working. Shinran Shonin, this is other power. I put a picture of floating in the sea. So I think this is an interesting, thing. Floating in the sea. I float. See, I float, but I don't do anything to float. Right? Have you ever floated in the sea? So when you try float in the sea, you mustn't do anything. If you do something, you sink, right? So to float in the sea, you just relax, you are just body to leave your body, the sea, water, and then you can float. Then you say, I float. See, but the subject of float is I, but I do not anything. I don't do anything to float. I think it's strange, right? See, I float, but I don't do anything. The subject of this floating doesn't do anything. See? So tariki is something like that. I don't do anything. Just leave myself to the working, coming working from Amida Buddha. Just receiving, just entrusting, just leaving myself to that kind of working, that kind of spirit. This is a tariki, receiving a tariki. So that's why Shinran Shonin said other power means to be from any form of calculation. So Amida Buddha tried to release me from suffering. So we just obediently receive or listen to this working. We shouldn't doubt. Oh, is that true? Amida Buddha is such a great Buddha. Is that true? Really? So that kind of doubt or calculation is necessary. We just entrust or leave ourselves to the great working. This is tariki, other power. Then, when we can truly entrust or leave ourselves to this coming work, Amida Buddha's aspiration, that mind or heart is called Shinjin on page 16. So Shinjin, this is also a key term in the Jodo Shinshu. Shinjin, I think Shinjin is a realization of Buddha's aspiration and a compassionate working directed towards this I, to each of us. So Shinjin, I'm going to read my understanding. Shinjin is not to believe in something blindly, but it is a deep awareness of the reality of my own existence and the Buddha's aspiration and working. In this respect, Jodo Shinshu is different from other religious teachings, which put importance upon faith in the form of believing in something objectively and blindly. Jodo Shinshu is a religion of awakening or realization. Myself and the Buddha or Dharma's working, as Buddhism is sometimes described. On page どこだったかな? On page 6, on page 6, I put a similar passage. Number 1, path of deep and candid reflection upon myself. I put the passage, Buddhism is a teaching of realization, mindful reflection, not that of blindly believing something. So in the same way, Jodo Shinshu is not a teaching to encourage people to blindly believe in Amida Buddha, right? But rather than that, we encourage people to reflect upon, to know yourselves. And also there is a working, directing to each of us, to such people, such a being. So to realize those things is the Shinji, or essence of Jodo Shinshu. Right? So I think this is different from the other teaching, other religion that encourage people to blindly, objectively believe in something, right? So that's why in the Jodo Shinshu tradition, there are two aspects in Shinjin. I put the big, picture of heart at the bottom of, the middle of this page. So following the interpretation by Shandao, so this theory is established by Shandao, the fifth of the seven masters. It has been traditionally understood in the Jodo Shinshu tradition. Shinjin consists of two realization, two awareness, whose inseparableness is compared to the two sides of one hand, like a front side and back side of one hand. It is inseparable, these two aspects. So one aspect is a realization of myself, awareness of myself. What kind of person I am. And then the second part is realization of compassionate working or aspiration or enthusiasm, spirit from Buddha. So Shinjin consists of these two aspects, two realization, awareness. If the Shinjin lacks one, then I put two examples on the bottom of this picture, this image. Only the realization of my deludedness, without the realization of Amida Buddha's working and aspiration, I think that would be a depression or negativism. Oh, I'm not a good person. I am dame. Just a depression or negativism. And or if the realization of Amida Buddha's working in aspiration, without the realization of my own deludedness, that would be just optimism or shallow aspiration of Amida Buddha's work. Oh, we have Amida Buddha. Oh, he's always working me. He must save me. So that's okay, no problem. This is just optimism. Or I think shallow aspiration, understanding of Amida Buddha's working. Since we can we realize the reality of myself, we can deeply, truly appreciate Amida Buddha's working. On the other hand, since we truly appreciate Amida Buddha's working, we have a kind of relief or ease. Even I'm filled with blind passions, bono. So there is a kind of balance of two realization in terms of Shinjin in the Jodo Shinshu tradition. Right? Okay, so now I think I explained various aspects of Jodo Shinshu, my basic key terms of Jodo Shinshu teaching. So I hope you understand the Jodo Shinshu aspects of Buddhism. So, and it's 11:10. I'd like to go through the Jodo Shinshu and our daily lives. And then we'd like to have a break. And then after that, discussion or Q&A. Is that okay?